Hey, I'm TC, your girlfriend, not girlfriend, and the most honest F buddy you've never had. Today's topic: what they don't tell you about friends with benefits relationships. Let's get into it. As I was scouring the internet, I was finding all of these like, don't do it, you get emotionally involved, and females, can't handle it, and blah, 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 right? For me, and this is going to be a lot of personal experience, but what I found in both of my dynamics was that I felt so supported. Like when I was feeling down about film or about something that was going on in life, I felt like this person had my back. It was it's weird to kind of describe how they have your back because you guys are naturally in a non-committal relationship. But the more time you're spending with this person, the more like they become intertwined in the ups and downs of your life. And in both my situations, they were so there for me. And I felt so good. They helped me feel good about me, even when I didn't feel good about me. When I was like, oh my God, I'm not getting cast or this or that. They were so supportive. They were so helpful. They wanted to be there for my wins. They wanted to console during my losses. And it's not to say that wasn't reciprocated. When they were going through something, I supported them as well. When they were having their wins, when positive things were occurring in their life, I just naturally wanted to be there to support them and to be a part of that thing in their life, negative or positive. I wanted to be there for them. So it's just like this level of support that when you're by yourself, they say you want to like build your self-concept and all these other kind of things. It's hard to feel that way even when even when you're getting positive energy from friends that you hang out with every now and again, family, having that person that you come home to or you spend a good portion of your time with support you and want to be there for your life. It's just, I don't know, like there's no other feeling like it. The next thing that's not really talked about is how the relationship gradually moves away from sex, which is odd because both of you are here for the sex. But I found in both of my situations, not that I was like withholding or anything like that, just as like when you get into it, initially you're like every day or every other day, you're like a rabbit. You want it all the time because you're exploring this new part of intimacy with this person. But as the relationship moves on and like you guys get into years, gradually you move away from the sex, and not that it's not good, you just do because you guys are doing so many other things in life. For me, with both my F buddy situations, I was traveling, I was going on like doing random stuff throughout the day, watching YouTube series, catching up on shows or getting on new shows. We were doing so much stuff that sometimes the sex didn't necessarily get forgotten about, because definitely didn't get forgotten about, but there just wasn't enough hours in the day. We were doing so many other things that we were gassed by the end of the night. So we had to like not schedule in the sex, but we like, and the males definitely reminded me, hey, we haven't in a while. But the relationship just became less about the sex and more about the other fun elements that were a part of the relationship. And then it made the sex all the more richer once we got to it, because it's like, oh, this is that thing that we're taking time to do. I don't know. It's a weird feeling, but that does happen. And for the guys that may be listening, that may be kind of scary to hear. Like, oh, she finna stop. No, she's not gonna all the way stop. That's not what's gonna happen unless she's moving into a different emotional space. But you will be having fun also. It just naturally moves to the other fun elements, the other things that you guys connect on. That's just what happens. The next thing is, and this piggybacks off the first point, but you guys become very much a part of each other's lives. Now, you want to be careful with this one because it can open the door for codependency where you guys are like leaning on each other heavily for emotional support or other forms of support. And you don't want to find yourself in a position where you're leaning on each other too much, because if things do have to change or if things dissolve, you put yourself in a position where you may really be feeling like you're lacking something, a super important piece of your life. And you don't want to feel that way if you guys decide you have to walk away from one another, or if somebody has to pick up and leave. So that part, like going in, you don't necessarily think about that. You're like, oh, they have their life, I have my life, and we just meet up in our lives at some point in time. But that's not how it happens. As a friends with benefits relationship continues to grow and develop, you guys want to be there for each other's lives. So you're hanging out daily, you're chilling after work, you're like spending all this time together, and your lives do become, or have a high probability of becoming super intertwined. And that I did not know that going in. And it posed a little bit of an issue. It posed a pretty decent issue when things did not end the way planned or the way that I expected from my last situationship. The next unexpected but very nice thing that happens that is pretty unexpected is the interest that you pick up on. So naturally, you guys started hanging out and entered into this friends with benefits situation because you guys have high level of similar interests and definitely the sex. You think the sex is going to be great. So you guys pop into that friends with benefits situation and are having a good time. But as you are spending more time together, there are separate interests that you guys have that you start to involve one another in. And that is where I had a lot of fun because I got to learn about some stuff that I probably would have never stumbled upon had I not became friends with benefits with these individuals. The last relationship in particular, there was a lot of things, a lot of interests, a lot of activities that I had no idea about and have really grown to love and really enjoy doing. One of those is like being out in nature. Nature is very nice, but I was never the let's hike or camp kind of girl. And I would say I definitely camping in the cold, not great, not preferred. However, I have gotten more into like hiking, especially being in California and doing some of these outdoorsy things that I would have never known. And it's because I did those with this person. And I started to really enjoy that. And now when I think about it, all I think about is fun times. So picking up on new interests is something they don't really tell you about when it comes to friends with benefits relationships, but it is destined to happen because the amount of time you guys are spending together. So that's pretty much all I have on that. You get some pretty fun things. I know that the internet will tell you like, don't do it, and these are the reasons why. And they tell you all the negative things associated with friends with benefits relationships. But I really see pluses when I think about friends with benefits relationships. Even though the last one ended the way that it did, 100% I would make the claim that my life is better off or was better off for both my friends with benefits relationships, even now sitting in this seat after both of them. Still being friends with one of them, I would still 100% do it over again. I had a great time. Those were great times in my life. Like, I would not trade it. So that's just my opinion. You were probably thinking you were going to hear some negative things and negative things that you've already heard before. But no, only positives here, guys. As always, if you have any further questions or you want me to go into more detail or add more like specific elements from my life and my experiences, feel free to ask in the comments. I have no problem doing that. But for now, be free, have fun, be safe, and enjoy.